Okay, hello, and I have a lot of explaining to do as I have, you know, clearly gone on a multi-month hiatus. So, you might be asking, so Asus, what happened from December 24th to April 23rd, which is the cutoff date, I should say, for the bulk. Um, so what happened that made you go on a multi-month hiatus when you were about to be done bulking? Well, let's see. My life essentially got so much better, and I felt like I was on the come up. And why did I feel this way, you might ask? Well, for some context, the entirety of high school and my freshman year of college, I didn't have a car, and I always felt like once I got a car, I'd obviously have more freedom because I could do what I wanted and not rely on someone else's car. Well, I did get a car, and a really nice one at that. I love this car with my whole being, okay? Like, words cannot describe how much I love this car. But since it was out of the blue, I didn't have my license when I got it. And my justification for that is just like I'm not motivated to get a license if I don't have a car, you know? But like if I would have known that I was getting it in advance, I would make sure I had the license when I got it, or that I was at least working on it, like to have it done like really soon. But anyways, my mom told me, I shouldn't be driving the car without insurance, and she was right. So that's a reminder to listen to your mom, even if you don't think that she's right. Anyways, well, I got the car. I didn't have my license when I got it, so I was using the car, but I was doing driver's ed, and then 28 days later, I got T-boned by a lady who ran a stop sign, and my car got totaled. And the bitch didn't have insurance, and I didn't have my license, so I lost my car. The lady left with like the tiniest scratch on her front, like bumper, and my car looked like this. So yeah, anyways, that made me really depressed, and kind of just drained me of any motivation I had to do anything for a while. But to make matters worse, 20 days later, my mom's car got broken into and they stole my gym bag. Luckily, it just had my raggedy work uniform and my dirty work shoes, but my favorite jeans were in that duffel bag. And losing the duffel bag is also like, a pretty big L. But my mom did have insurance on her car, obviously. I had my license at the time. Everything was covered for the window, so that's like, decent ending. But long story short, May ended up being one of the best months of my life, and all that just for April to be the worst by far. But after that, I got my license, and my mom was able to get a new car. I took her old one, so everything worked out in the end. Anyways, that still leaves a lot of time that I've been gone since, it's the end of summer now. But that's because I actually was working on something that I'll be posting soon, hopefully, and that one should be a lot more entertaining than anything I've put out so far. But anyways, now I can talk about the bulk statistics. So we started at 143 pounds and we ended at 170.4. So that's an average of 1.55 pounds per week for a total of 27.4 pounds gained, which I think is way more than it should have been, considering the fact that when lean bulking, you should really average around 0.25 to 0.7 pounds a week. And, we basically doubled the 0.75 with the 1.55. And the fact that we doubled that and we gained more than we were supposed to be gaining is definitely why most of the weight gain near the end of the bulk wasn't just lean muscle mass. It was just fat as well. So anyways, the bulk lasted 124 days or 17.7 weeks, which is honestly a lot longer than it should have lasted, thinking back on it now. But I'll just take that into consideration for the next bulk. As for the strength gains of the bulk, I really just butchered this, but I ended up measuring increases in certain exercises that I do. So legs, push pull. So for legs, I tracked single leg hamstring curls, barbell squat, hip abductors, leg extensions, and calf raises. So the overall increase for legs was 95 pounds. For abs, I just did cable crunches, which increased by 22.5 pounds. For push, I tracked incline Smith, barbell press, chest fly, machine, single arm tricep extensions, machine lateral raises, and rear delt cable fly for a total increase of 90 pounds in the pushing muscles. And finally for pull, I tracked T-bar row, lat pull down, and wide grip cable row. Don't know why I didn't track any bicep exercises, but the total increase for pull that I tracked was 65 pounds. So across all these tracked exercises, there was a strength increase of about 272.5 pounds. And now for probably my least favorite part of this video, I'm gonna show you the brutal before and after of the bulk. So here's my glorious physique that I had before, I bulked up. And here it is after gaining nearly 30 pounds. All right, now that the results of the bulk are out of the way, what do I plan on improving for my next bulk? Well, I definitely want to track my exercises and their increase or decrease in weight consistently across the entire bulk. I want to shorten my bulk from 17 weeks to around like 12 to 14 to avoid the burnout that really harmed the lean aspect of this bulk. And I want to remain consistent in my diet, obviously. Consistent in my diet being majority whole foods and just minimizing processed or junk food consumed while I'm bulking. I plan on changing my macros as well as my weight increases week by week, and not just keep it on like 1,000 surplus calories or 2,000 surplus calories, like across the whole bulk. Like I want to go week by week. Decrease the caloric surplus to around only 10%, 10-15%. And yeah, so overall, I would rate my results from this bulk to be like a 5 out of 10. If I'm being honest, I did increase my strength and my weight, which is, the goal of a bulk, but it was to a degree that I'm not very proud of. I gained excessive fat and failed to consistently track my workouts and even my weight on a few days. I started off really strong, but, got burnt out in the final weeks, which is not something I'm proud of. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you watched any of my videos, I appreciate it immensely. And yeah, like if you want, comment if you have any questions, or if you just want to say anything at all, and sub even if you'd like. But goodbye. I'll see you in the next video.